Further observations: the effect of DD water on diabetes mellitus in recent years. DD water has been examined exclusively from the aspect of its anti-cancer effect. We have had, however, some patients with tumors and diabetes mellitus at the same time. It attracted our attention that after drinking DD water, the state of diabetes mellitus improved with these patients. This manifested itself by the fact that their blood sugar levels that had earlier been fluctuating became steady, or high blood sugar levels decreased, more or less to the normal range. We started to follow the level of blood sugar with patients suffering from diabetes mellitus, and we could definitely state that DD water positively influenced the process of diabetes mellitus. On the basis of the results so far, the positive effect of DD water seems to have been demonstrated both with type 1 and 2 diabetes mellitus DM. With patients suffering from diabetes mellitus who drink DD water, especially those belonging to type 1 insulin-independent patients, the changes in blood sugar level should be followed. With these patients, the level of blood sugar will decrease earlier, which can be compensated for a while with intake of sugar. But it is preferable to keep blood sugar level in balance with the decrease of the insulin dose. With patients suffering from type 2 diabetes mellitus, the dose of the medication should also be decreased in some cases, but this group seems to be less sensitive. This means that the absence of the dose correction of the medication does not have consequences of the same extent as with patients of the insulin-independent group. If insulin dosage is not corrected, it should be emphasized that the above positive effects occur in some weeks or months, parallel with DD water consumption. Therefore, unexpected, acute situations will only arise if the doctor does not follow and correct carefully the slowly changing blood sugar level. The positive effect of DD water on myomas, cysts, and benign hypertrophies of the prostate. Thanks to the great number of patient population, we have met numerous cystic deformations. It can generally be stated that cysts proved to be sensitive to DD water. Mainly those of a smaller size had completely disappeared within a short time. It was only a few patients who consumed DD water because of benign myomas or hypertrophies of the prostate, but in these cases we also experienced improvement. Significant weight gain from 1,000 patients consuming DD water. In 4 to 5 cases we experienced significant weight gain 10 to 20 kilograms. In one case, examination verified the malfunctioning of the thyroid gland, which was treated with medication. At present, we cannot decide yet whether there is a cause and effect connection between the consumption of DD water and weight gain. Further tasks: we refer to the contradictions of the development of anti-cancer drugs by comparing it to flying. To further expand this comparison, we might say that we have found a principle to construct a flying machine. The real challenge here is to construct machines that can fly very far with great security. As the making of the first flying machine implied the possibility of giant Boeings carrying hundreds of passengers overseas, the process based on deuterium depletion also implies that doctors may cure millions of cancer patients routinely, as it is done with tuberculosis and other diseases. This can only be realized if intense research and development begins in this field. Just as the development of the Boeings was enabled by a series of discoveries and developments in fields of science sometimes distant from each other: informatics, rubber industry, aerodynamics, space research, physics of solid bodies, etc. In our case, tumor medicine will also be advanced by discoveries, recognitions, and unimaginable developments. The main task for doctors is to discover, step by step, during carefully planned clinical trials, the principles and rules referring to the dosage and application of DD water. They should find out, From among the presently used drugs and processes, which ones increase the effect of DD water and which are the most favorable combinations of available possibilities for the patient? If we fulfill our task well, results and experiences will quickly increase, and this may improve the efficacy of healing work day by day. Colleagues at HID Limited, for research and development, are doing their best to coordinate, promote, and organize research and development of deuterium depletion, and they are constantly sharing collected information with scientists and physicians all over the world. Preparations based on DD water during the 7 years of the approval process. The funds needed for development meant the greatest difficulty. The costs of the development of a drug may go up to $400 to $500 million, which is 100 to 125 billion forints. Because of the high costs, development remained the privilege of some multinational giant companies, but even these frequently merge to decrease per unit costs of development. With knowledge of the above, it seems ridiculous that in Hungary, a company founded with a capital of 1.5 million forints, not dollar, should start a process of approval. The reason for doing so might be due to two causes. First, we believe that drug development based on deuterium depletion may open new vistas in drug research. And second, that we had no other choice, because the idea seemed to be so unbelievable that there was nobody to take it and the inherent possibilities seriously. To bridge constant financial problems, we tried to develop products which are connected to our original idea, deuterium depletion. Our first such product was the deuterium-depleted drinking water named Vitaqua. This had been approved as a food product in which deconcentration was decreased, compared to normal drinking water, only slightly by 20 ppm. Our second product was the YUVAN family of cosmetics developed jointly with Florin Limited. This contains active material of depleted deuterium content under the name Hydrolite. High standard quality and the appearance of the family of ointments was approved by both specialists and consumers, but because of the narrow marketing frames, the message of the product could not reach consumers. After the first great upswing, sales dropped. The family of products can be ordered through the parcel service of Florin Limited, Szeged, and the body lotion is sold as a product of Tesco. Our third product was approved in the summer of 1999 under the name VTR-ADDW25, the first anti-cancer drug for veterinary purposes, based on deuterium depletion, was born. The treatment of tumorous cats and dogs became possible, and it is to be expected that veterinary surgeons applying VTR-ADDW25 will be convinced, within a short time, that an anti-cancer drug more effective than any other so far is at their disposal. Our fourth approved product is Preventa 105. The product was marketed in the summer of 2000 as a drinking water. As is clear from the name, the deconcentration of Preventa is 105 ppm, 45 ppm lower than that of normal drinking water. The approval process of the anti-cancer human drug registered under the name Deplete in and based on D-depletion is currently underway. Dosage recommendations and directions of use for veterinary surgeons. Application of VTR-ADDW25. In the following, we present the dosage scheme accepted during the approval process. Table now reveals that the principle of dosage is identical with that of human application. The aim of the treatment is to decrease the deuterium concentration in the sick animal's body by applying DD water in such quantities and quality relevant deconcentration that it should reach the maximum effect. When establishing dosage, we recommend considering the aspects given in the chapter on human application. As the deuterium content of VTR-ADDW25 is low 25 ppm, the preparation should be diluted according to the table below. Table L changes in the dosage of VTR-ADDW25 as a function of the duration of treatment. Table A2 recommended daily dose of the animal as a function of body mass from DD water of the suitable D content. Daily dose should be established according to Table A2. How to administer the preparation? It is advisable to divide the daily dose into 2 to 3 pots. The given amount should be drunk within some hours after pouring it out. Contact with air for a long time and favorably influences the composition of the preparation as deconcentration increases. When once 90 parts per million water was left in an open glass vessel in the lab, after 48 hours, it showed a 10 parts per million increase in deconcentration. It follows from the above that the LPPM vapor in the air increases the deconcentration of the water, but it also shows that the process is rather slow. So contact with open air does not cause significant changes in the composition of DD water. Contraindications. During research with DD water, we carried out teratological experiments on pregnant rats. We have not experienced any disorder when examining the offspring, but the number of cases did not reach the minimal value needed for statistical evaluation. As it cannot be stated with absolute certainty that DD water has no effect on pregnant animals, we do not recommend its consumption in pregnancy. Side effects. The most common side effects are despondency, weakness, and somnolence. With animals, these symptoms generally appear some weeks after the beginning of the treatment and last for some weeks. The phenomenon is attributed to tumor necrosis evoked by DD water and indicates its effect. From the point of view of dosage, the follow-up of accompanying phenomenon is of great importance because we only recommend the change of the mixing ratio when despondency and somnolence accompanying the actual dosage have already stopped. It should be noted that these side effects usually appear if the tumor mass is relatively great and if the reaction evoked by DD water is quick. This is the case with tumor types sensitive to D depletion. The animal undergoes surgery without any greater amputation. Operation is advised. The animal is inoperable. It might become operable on the effect of DD water consumption. Cytostatic treatment in general is not justified in case of animals, because neither its efficacy nor its high costs make it an alternative for DD water treatment. Animals drink DD water with pleasure and tolerate treatment well, while toxic chemotherapy causes death in many cases. Further tasks. Research into the effect of deuterium depletion is motivated by the aim to find a new and effective way of treating tumorous diseases. As with every drug development, the next step after the development of the active material was the establishment of the optimal dosage. After the first successful experiments with mice, it became evident that mice with an average body mass of 25 to 30 grams are not suitable for providing data to extrapolate for humans 300-500 times their body mass. This is why our attention turned to cats and dogs, because their body mass 4 to 45 kilograms may be compared to that of humans, and daily DD water consumption can be exactly followed to establish an optimal dosage. Statements made in connection with cancerous cats and dogs may and should be used during application for humans. The work and observations of veterinary surgeons have significance in human medicine. We have to carry on working in order to establish the appropriate dosage scheme according to the sensitivity of different tumors. Animals should be followed for a long time, and a post-treatment strategy should be elaborated to achieve complete healing and to prevent relapses. It is important to find out the connection between the following: body mass, tumor mass, the dose of DD water deconcentration, as well as to find out which parameters to change demonstrable from the blood, and which may be followed during the application of DD water. Id Limited, for research and development, coordinates research connected to the application of DD water and is ready to meet interested veterinary surgeons.